The year 1970 was a turbulent time in Philippine history. It marked the start of what historians call the first quarter storm, a period of mass student protests, social unrest, and political instability that ultimately paved the way for the declaration of martial law in 1972 by President Ferdinand Marcos. Despite this unrest, the Philippine economy was still functional, and the country was producing its own coins through the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas (BSP). There was a growing push to nationalize the country's currency and focus on symbols that reflected Filipino identity rather than colonial heritage. The obverse features the national coat of arms of the Philippines, which includes the 3 stars and the sun from the Philippine flag, ecological awareness and national pride in the country's natural resources. The use of aluminum made the coin lightweight, cheap to produce, and resistant to corrosion, which was ideal for a low-value circulating coin. During a time of economic constraint, the 197010 Sentimo was part of the Flora and Fauna series, 1969 to 1974, which replaced the English series that had been in circulation since the 1950s. This shift represented branding that sought to make Filipinos feel proud of their heritage, land, and history. During the 1970s, the 10 Sentimo coin had modest purchasing power. It could buy small items like a piece of candy, matches, or be used to round off change. It was a widely circulated coin and commonly used in daily life by ordinary Filipinos. However, due to inflation over the decades, coins of this value gradually lost purchasing power and were eventually phased out of active circulation by the late 1980s and early 1990s. However, uncirculated or proof-like examples are valuable to collectors, especially those interested in. Today, the 1970 10 Sentimo coin is a symbol of an era filled with political awakening and social change, a piece of numismatic heritage connecting collectors to the Philippines, efforts in creating a truly Filipino currency identity, a reminder of the country's rich ecological heritage through the use of native flora in national roads of culture, politics, and nature, from its beautiful Balakat tree imagery to its presence during a time of national transformation. This coin continues to tell a quiet but powerful story. If you have this coin in your collection, treasure it. It holds the memory of a nation on the brink of major change. 2002. 25 Sentimo stand out not because of their face value, but because of the mystery buried deep in their metal. According to multiple reports and collector forums, an ultra-rare variant of the 2002 25 Sentimo surfaced, catching the attention of seasoned collectors. This specific coin is believed to have been struck on the wrong planchet, or even mismatched with another denomination's die, creating an unusual hybrid error. Some say it was struck on a blank intended for a foreign coin. Others claim it contains misaligned dies, missing elements, or a combination of errors, like a double strike or off-center minting. One particular specimen, found in near mint condition with an uncirculated shine and anomalous features, was reportedly valued at $500,000 USD by a private collector. The sheer price stunned the Philippine numismatic community. Why would a 25 centavo coin, normally overlooked and ignored, command such an astronomical value? The answer lies in scarcity, error classification, and the increasing global fascination with Philippine currency from the post, resulting in mismatched weight, color, or size. These coins passed through unnoticed at first until someone with a sharp eye recognized the anomaly. The $500,000 25 Sentimo is considered to be one of these anomalies. Reports indicate it was verified by a leading international coin certification agency and graded as mint state. 2002. The Philippines was undergoing economic recovery after the financial turbulence of the late 1990s. The Asian financial crisis of 1997 had left its mark on many Southeast Asian countries, and the Philippines was no exception. Inflation, currency devaluation, and structural reforms were ongoing challenges. During this time, every peso counted, and coins of smaller denominations, like the 25 Sentimo, remained vital for everyday transactions. Despite their small value, low denomination 1993 ushered in a new era of coin design and production in the Philippines. The new central bank focused on modernizing financial tools, combating inflation, and enhancing currency security. The coins of the late 1990s and early 2000s, including the 2000 to 25 Sentimo, were part of this transformation. Under BSP oversight, new coin series were released that were cost-effective, durable, and easy to identify by touch, important for visually impaired citizens. The 25 Sentimo was minted using advanced techniques that aimed for uniformity and reliability. Yet, ironically, this same mass production process is what sometimes led to error coins slipping through the cracks, the very coins that are now the most valuable. Despite producing hundreds of millions of 25 Sentimo coins, it is believed that a very small batch of 2002 coins were struck with significant errors, wrong planchet errors, for example struck on a 10 Sentimo or 50 Sentimo blank double die, obverse where the date or lettering appears twice, die cracks and cuts chunks missing due to damaged dies, rotated die strikes misalignment between obverse and reverse. Some experts even suggest that a foreign blank may have been mistakenly used, a rare occurrence that produces a coin with unusual weight, color, or thickness. Coins of this nature, the Philippine peso system, subdivided into 100 Sentimo, has its roots in the colonial period, with influences from Spanish, American, and local traditions. By the early 2000s, the Philippine economy had already undergone several transformations. After achieving full independence in 1946, the country introduced its own currency systems, replacing foreign motifs with indigenous heroes, national emblems, and symbolic imagery. The 25 Sentimo coin had long been a staple of the currency system, frequently used in daily life. Over time, it evolved not only in function, but also in form and metal content. Originally minted in more durable and sometimes precious metals, during earlier periods, the coin was eventually produced using more cost-effective materials, due to rising minting expenses and the devaluation of smaller denominations. By 2002, the 25 Sentimo coin was struck in brass-bladed steel, a lightweight and economical choice. This change was part of the BSP coin series, which had officially started in the mid-1990s, under the authority of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, created in 1993, to replace the old Central Bank of the Philippines. This was a major institutional shift that aimed to modernize financial systems, reduce inflation, and strengthen economic resilience. The new coin designs of this era were sleek, modern, and practical. They prioritized ease of identification, both visually and by touch, especially for the visually impaired. The 25 Sentimo bore the words Republica ng Pilipinas, the denomination 25 Sentimo, and the year of minting. On the reverse side was the BSP logo, an eagle in flight, encircled by the official seal, representing financial strength and national independence. Despite being intended for mass circulation, a very limited number of the 2000 to 25 Sentimo coins became legends in the coin collecting community. These rare specimens are believed to contain minting errors and usual anomalies that occurred during the production process. These might include double dies, off-center strikes, die rotations, planchet errors, or even the use of an incorrect metal blank. Such mistakes, while rare, slip through quality control in any minting system due to the sheer volume of coins produced. The real coin from 1972 was made of aluminum. It is lightweight, small, and non-magnetic. 1972 was a historic and controversial year in Philippine history. President Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law on September 21, 1972. Just months after this coin was released, the declaration marked a shift to authoritarian rule, and the economic and political changes of this era affected all aspects of Filipino life, including the minting and circulation of currency. The coins from this year, including the 10 Sentimo, were silently witness to a turning point in Philippine democracy. Coins like these circulated during a time of curfews, censorship, and civil unrest, but also during infrastructure building and urban development. Pushed by the Marcos regime, the 1972 10 Sentimo coin is part of the government's nationalistic movement that aimed to promote the use of the Filipino language. Prior coins bore English inscriptions like Central Bank of the Philippines, but the Filipino series replaced these with Filipino terms like Republica ng Pilipinas and Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Apolinario Mabini (1864–1903), who appears on the coin, was one of the greatest intellectuals of the Philippine Revolution. Despite being paralyzed from polio, he served as the first Prime Minister and Secretary of Foreign Affairs in the First Philippine Republic. His inclusion on the 10 Sentimo coin reflects the country's respect for his ideas, independence, and integrity values. The Marcos government tried to align itself within the early years, even as political suppression grew. In the 1970s, the 10 centimo coin still had purchasing power. It could buy small candies, matchsticks, or be used to complete small transactions in local markets. Over time, however, inflation eroded the value of centavo-denominated coins, and the 10 centimo slowly faded from daily use in later decades. The coin was still commonly used until the late 1980s, when newer coin series began to phase it out. By the early 1990s, the 10 centimo coin had very little real-world value due to inflation. It became more of a collector's item, especially for those interested in martial law era memorabilia. While it is not rare, the 1970 to 10 centimo, the 197 to 10 centimo was part of the Filipino coinage series, the first official coin series to use Filipino national language instead of English. This was a strong symbol of post-colonial identity, coming decades after the country gained independence from the United States in 1946. The coin was minted under the Central Bank of the Philippines, established in 1949. During this period, the bank undertook reforms to stabilize the currency and localize coin production, which had previously been outsourced abroad. Choosing Apolinario Mabini, a hero known for honesty, sacrifice, and wisdom, was not accidental. His image served as a moral symbol in a time when national politics was becoming increasingly authoritarian. The government used his image to legitimize its power and remind citizens of patriotic duty. When President Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law in September 1972, the state gained full control over the economy. One aspect of this was tighter regulation of currency flow, coin production, and banking. Coins minted in 1972, including the 10 centimo, were part of a monetary system under centralized authority. The 10 centimo coin was made of aluminum, a cost-effective metal that the government chose during times of rising metal prices and limited coin budgets. Aluminum was also easy to mint in large numbers, though it lacked durability and quickly lost its shine in circulation. In 1972, 10 1, the exchange rate was about Philippine peso 6 to $1 USD, and 50 centimo Philippine peso 0.50 had real purchasing power. You could buy with 50 centimos. The 197150 centimo belongs to the Filipino series, which started in 1967 and ended in 1974. This was the first modern coin series to feature the Filipino language and Filipino heroes, replacing the older English series 1958 to 1966 that still carried colonial imagery and language. This shift to Filipino inscriptions, for example, Republica ng Pilipinas instead of Republic of the Philippines, was part of a larger cultural movement toward national identity and pride in local heroes. The obverse front of the coin honors Marcello Hilario del Pilar y Gabmaitan, 1850 to 1896, known as Plaridel, his pen name, a leader of the propaganda movement, along with José Rizal and Graciano López Llena, editor of La Solidaridad, the mouthpiece of Filipino reformists in Spain. Del Pilar fought through words, writing articles exposing Spanish abuses in the Philippines. His dream was Filipino autonomy, equality, and press freedom. By putting him on the 50 centimo coin, the government honored his intellectual courage and nationalist spirit. During this time, the BSP used foreign mints like the Royal Canadian Mint and U.S. mints for coinage. Due to limited local minting capacity, some coins of the period were struck outside the Philippines. The 1971 Constitution Convention was held to revise the 1935 Constitution. However, this effort was overtaken by the declaration of martial law in 1972. The 1971 coin stands as one of the last truly democratic coins created before the era of dictatorship, where coins would later bear slogans like Angi Bagong Lipunan, the new society is part of Marcos, authoritarian propaganda. After 1971, new coins from 1975 onward were issued under the Angi Bagong Lipunan ABL series. These coins had different portraits and values, emphasized government slogans, reflected the ideological shift under martial law. The 197150 Sentimo is therefore a final edition. From the Free Republic years, circulated coins in fair condition may be worth Philippine peso 20 to 100. In local markets, uncirculated or mint condition coin 14.5 Piso marked a shift from nature-themed motifs to honoring national heroes and central figures. In Philippine history, the front obverse of the 2014 5 Piso coin features General Emilio Aguinaldo, the first president of the Republic of the Philippines, and a central figure in the Philippine Revolution against Spanish colonization. His inclusion on the coin symbolizes patriotism and national sovereignty. The back reverse of the coin displays the official seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas (BSP). This reinforces the authority of the central bank in issuing currency and maintaining the economic foundation of the country. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. This metallic composition made the coin durable and suitable for heavy circulation, especially in urban areas. This coin represents the post-DSA 1986 democratic identity of the Philippines. Emilio Aguinaldo's image symbolized freedom, revolution, and the struggle for self-determination, aligning with national values in the 21st century. The 5 Piso coin saw extensive circulation across the country, widely used in public transport, jeepneys, tricycles, sari-sari stores, and marketplaces. It was one of the most circulated denominations due to its mid-value and purchasing power. Aguinaldo's role as a revolutionary leader who declared Philippine independence on June 12, 1898, remains crucial to Philippine historical consciousness. Featuring him on the coin helped promote historical literacy among Filipinos, especially the youth. The 2014 version was minted in large quantities to meet growing transactional demands. It was produced by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Security Plant Complex. While most coins were for local circulation, some specimens reached international collectors. During the early 2010s, the Philippines experienced economic growth and increased infrastructure spending. The 5 Piso coin played a vital role in microtransactions and daily cash flow, especially for lower-income groups and rural communities. Due to its value and wide use, the 5 Piso coin occasionally became a target of counterfeiters. However, the BSP implemented strict minting standards to ensure security features and authenticity. Although no advance, the currency reform was symbolic of a new beginning, and Rizal's image was intentionally kept as a symbol of disciplined patriotism, aligning with the regime's messaging. The image of José Rizal used on this coin was not a modern photograph or sketch, but based on a sculpted bust from a rare 19th-century model. The original bust was created by a Filipino artist inspired by Rizal's Spanish-era photographs. This bust was used as the basis for engravers at the Central Bank's minting division, making the coin an indirect homage to Filipino sculptural art as well. According to several insiders from the central bank, in the 1970s, the designs of coins during martial law were reviewed in private, closed-door meetings, involving not only the mint and treasury but also presidential aides and propaganda officials. These meetings ensured that national symbolism on coins aligned with the Marcos regime's ideology. Few people know that the 197 for 1 Piso coin was presented by Philippine officials to American delegates during economic development talks in the mid-1970s. It was seen as a symbol of national development and modernization under Marcos, helping to promote a more confident international image of the Philippines despite rising criticism of martial law. During 1974, the Philippine peso was suffering from devaluation. Due to rising foreign debt and oil price hikes, the 1 Piso coin became a target of public frustration, as many Filipinos remembered when the peso had far more purchasing power. A phrase became popular at the time, **piso na lang ng halaga ng dangal, meaning dignity is worth only 1 peso now, showing how even the coin became part of social criticism. Even during the 1970s, some Filipino coin collectors rejected the 1970 for 1 Piso coin, not because of its design, but because they believed it symbolized the militarization of culture. They felt that José Rizal was being politically manipulated. These rare perspectives are documented in underground newsletters of intellectual circles from Up, Diliman and Ateneo at the time. In the late 1970s, copies of the 1970 for 1 Piso coin were requested by several foreign museums, including the British Museum, the Smithsonian, and the Musée de l'Homme in France. These institutions saw the coin as representative of post-colonial Southeast Asian nationalism. In 1975, the central bank uncovered a counterfeit ring operating in Manila and Cebu, which was producing fake 1 Piso coins, including fake 1974 issues. These counterfeit coins used substandard alloys and were circulated mostly in small markets. This led to